Welcome back to Who Dis?
Who is that?
Who dat is?
Who is that?
Oh, it is none other than the one, the only, the phenomenal, the fabulous, the American skater, Jeremy Abbott. Welcome to That Figure Skating Show, Who Dis?
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm very honored to be here.
Well, it's always a pleasure to have you in Canada.
Thank you.
And you dressed for the occasion?
I did.
Yeah.
I wore my best Canadian outfit.
And then, you know what? I wore blue so that together there's a little bit of a tip of the cap to American.
Yeah, we are like
American.
neighbors,
America.
and we're friendly neighbors.
Yes.
I mean,
I mean, we're friendly neighbors.
Anyways, what are you up to these days?
What am I up to? Figure skating. Shocker. I've been
growth.
Yes, lots of growth.
Yes. Aging. Unfortunately, we all do it.
Aging a lot. I've been doing a lot of shows, tours, varying things within the sport and within the community. Choreography, I've been teaching a lot of camps and seminars, and just traveling a ton. I'm actually, literally, I have no fixed address at the moment. I'm a nomad.
And so you're in town doing some choreography.
I was in town working with Caitlin Osmond this week. Love her. She was amazing. Got
She's
to
a gem.
know her very well on the Rock the Rink tour.
She is a Who Dis alumni.
Yeah,
she has been
she
on the
is a
show this
friend of
season.
the show.
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you for being a friend, Caitlin.
Yeah.
Yes. Thanks, KL.
Down the road and back again. Hot is okay now.
U.S. Nationals. Let's get into it. What are your thoughts on skating in the U.S. today?
From what I've seen, we're looking strong. I mean, our dance is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Our pairs look pretty good this year. You know, it's great to see Alexa and Chris back on top of the podium. We had Brian and Jessica come second, and I trained with Brian when he was much younger, and it's like mind-blowing to me to see him now standing on the U.S. podium as well.
They're a new team. Interestingly, in the U.S., there's a lot of, especially in the pairs, there's a lot of shuffling around. There's a lot of juggling. It doesn't seem to be like there's kind of a predictable outcome.
Yeah, which in some ways we don't have that team that's like consistently at the top. But at the same time, from a sporting standpoint, that's really exciting. Like you can't predict it, and it's going to be who does the best on what day, and that's great to see as a sporting fan.
Yes, of course.
Talk about the ladies. First, Alyssa Liu coming and taking a second national title at the age of 14. Just entering grade 9.
Almost over the hill. And I mean into senior.
And did you also cry watching Mariah Bell's free program?
I got a lot of feels. I was like on the verge of tears, but I think I was already just so emotionally drained from watching Gracie, and because I like had the smallest part of that. Like I choreographed both of her programs, so I got to see kind of the journey that she took from the time she stepped back on the ice. So I was just like a wreck. And then by the time Mariah came out, like I don't think I had anything left. Yeah. So I was like very emotional, and she was phenomenal, and I was like on my feet, jumping out of my skin, but just like I was too dehydrated at that point. I had nothing left.
I didn't know that you had actually done both of her programs in your involvement.
First of all, congrats.
No. I was like, she did the work.
But you gave her like the vehicle to come back.
You've been in Canada too much. Yeah. You know, look at that. Humility.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. There it is again.
Let's get an American response.
You're welcome. I did all of that. That was all me.
Yeah. So let's talk about Gracie and her comeback. Like, what are your thoughts? And you were, I guess, a little bit more involved in it.
I mean, I have just the most respect for her. Watching where she came from, I got to see kind of the whole arc from when everything started going down into the point that she was checked into the rehab facility, and then I think it all kind of started because when she was in rehab, I sent her a message, and I told her, hey, if you ever decide to skate again, like I have an idea for an exhibition program. Like I was never thinking she was going to come back to competition, but I was like, if you want to, like I have an idea, and I would love to like give this to you as a gift because I adore you and everything that you've gone through, and I think this could be like really cathartic if you ever step back on the ice. She was like, that would be amazing, thank you. And we didn't actually ever end up doing that program.
Yet.
Yet, I guess.
Yeah.
But she reached out and she was like, hey, would you be interested in choreographing? I want to make a comeback. Would you be interested in choreographing my programs? And I was like, I was never expecting that, and I was very honored. And so I went. It would have been May of 18. And we did both of her programs in 2 weeks. And literally when I was there, she was like falling on double sows. Like, as you would expect from somebody who had taken that much time off the ice. So I literally have watched her go from falling on doubles and really struggling to the point that she's back at the U.S. Championships and doing triples, like, and very well.
Yeah.
You know,
A few
of course,
triple combinations as well.
yeah. Her practices were fire, and the competition, I'm sure, wasn't what she had hoped for, but from my standpoint, it was like more than I could have hoped for her. Just the fact that she went out there and she faced that with such poise and such determination. It was so inspiring to me to see.
The level of bravery, of courage that it takes to put yourself out there in a situation like that, the vulnerability that you're experiencing, it's like far beyond trying to win.
It's
you know,
insane.
something when you're at that level. It's just, it's.
Especially because she is Gracie Gold,
Yeah.
who has
Yeah,
done
yeah.
so much for U.S. figure skating and women's, and has been like a tour de force in skating in the world. And then, you know, to come back and, you know, you're not necessarily going to be at the top of your game, but to just come back out on the national stage and build that confidence to come back again.
Yeah.
And then let alone not having competed at that level for 3 years and stepping back out on that ice. Like, to be fair, I think a lot of people were rooting for her, but, you know, it's kind of like throwing her to the wolves. Like, skating can be very volatile, and it can be very
Judgy.
judgment.
By
Yes.
nature, it's
Yeah.
judgy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fully judgy, and it can be very volatile from the journalists to the fans to the officials to the coaches to the competitors. Like, it's not always the prettiest sport, and to put yourself back in that environment and that atmosphere after everything that she had gone through, like,
With a healthy outlook.
Oh.
It's enormous.
I would
enormous
never have
growth.
had the courage to do that. I would have been sobbing on the floor, like at the bottom of the shower. Like, I don't think I could have had the strength to put myself in front of that sort of judgment.
Yeah.
Let's head on to the men. What do you think about the landscape right now? Nathan being the phenom that he is, and then we have a bunch of other skaters like Vincent and
Jason, who had a great short program.
Jason had an amazing short program.
Yeah, Jason had the short program of his life, I think.
Yeah.
I might be a little biased. I think the men have been very strong in the U.S. for a long time. It's just a matter of like building that confidence to compete internationally as well. But with someone like Nathan, I think it's very important to have someone like him, because now everyone's trying to chase that unattainable goal. Where as before, like, maybe this is self-deprecating, but like when I was winning, like, I wasn't doing stuff that was so outside of the realm of what everyone else was doing. And so it wasn't like, I don't think people really felt like they had to chase someone like me. Like, it was just, if they competed their best that day, they might win. Whereas Nathan, like, people have to go above and beyond. And I think that's creating a culture of men that are really hungry and really wanting to fight. And we're seeing this deep field. Like, I mean, Camden Polkinen has been doing very, very well this season internationally, and I mean, right now he's sitting in 7th.
A U.S. Nationals always has a deep field in every event. I mean, I've been to a few U.S. Nationals, and I've always noticed just how far down the high quality goes. You know, whether you guys have a world champion on top at the time or not, there's always tough competition throughout the event. And I mean, there you go. There's a testament to it. Someone who's competing very successfully internationally, sitting in 7th in the short.
Yeah, I mean, Nathan, he is a phenom. He's an outlier in the sport. We have someone like Yuzuru Hanyu, who is, I mean, himself, he's an outlier, a 2-time Olympic champion, who is now really trying to up his game and push himself even harder. And like, he's working on quad axle, and he's doing crazy things to try to keep up. And it's amazing to see what men like them are doing to the sport. And on top of that, like, nobody's really lacking in artistry. Like, you know, a lot of people are complaining that the quads are taking away from the artistry, and I I kind of disagree to a big
Yeah.
extent, because I'm seeing men take chances with music and take risks with choreography and stuff that they weren't doing before. And I think it's really, really exciting to see someone who is doing quads, but also is trying to like push their own limits and their own boundaries. And maybe it doesn't work, and maybe it's not always the most artistic and exciting, but like they're trying, and I love seeing that.
Yeah, and I think that's more exciting than, you know, removing the quads. Everyone skate clean with easier programs. You know, you're seeing the top people push both sides of the envelope, and we are a sport. We may be an artistic sport, but we're a sport, and the envelope should always be pushed. You know, with pairs, no one's doing throw quads or quad twist anymore, and I personally am disappointed about that, because I thought we were moving in the right direction. Granted, it can't be dangerous, which pairs can get, but
Of course.
But yeah, to your point, I completely hear what you're saying, and I completely agree with that.
So heading into Worlds, what do you think are the U.S. chances for medals?
Our men in our dance have the best chances to medal, with Maddie and Evan and Maddie and Zach and Nathan. If our ladies skate how they've been skating, I don't know that they'll threaten for a medal, because the Russian trifecta is...
And the Japanese.
Yeah.
I mean, Rika's got that triple axel and the quad
Yeah.
style kind of happening. It's hard to break in there, even with the artistry, without a triple axel
Absolutely,
or quad.
but you know, again, it's a sport, and you know, we saw an Olympic champion fall at Worlds right after, and Caitlin came in and won. So it's not an impossibility, and especially if Mariah can skate like she skated at this championships, if Brady can skate as she's been skating with that last jump in there, like she has really been pushing the artistic side of her skating as well, and the growth that we've seen from 2018, when she kind of burst into the scene, to now has been quite incredible, and I'm excited to see her continue to push that and continue to grow as a skater and an artist as well. But yeah, like if both of those girls can stay consistent and skate clean and skate their best, like there's a possibility for sure. It's not outside of the realm. It's just going to be
Really hard.
very hard.
Very hard.
Right. The odds aren't in their favor.
Unfortunately, no. And then our pairs, I don't know enough about pairs, TBH.
I mean, I think the state of U.S. pairs, there's not really a team who's going to push for a medal.
Yeah.
But there's some strong pairs that can, you know, push to be competitive in there, earn some more spots for next year, and we'll see what
Set
happens.
themselves up for,
Absolutely.
for future years. Yeah. Well, thank you for being here, Jeremy.
My pleasure.
It's always
Thank
nice
you.
to see your face.
Yes.
It's a very nice face.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
You guys,
I don't want to
you guys
smack
have
it.
you guys are so adorable as well.
Oh, thanks. There's
My
so
mom
much
says
love
it
happening
too.
here.
So much love. Can we have a group hug? After.
Okay, now,
Get out of here.
Anyways, thanks for joining us on Who Dis on that figure skating show. Best of luck with 2020. I know you're going to continue to do amazing things and contribute to shaping the figure skating world the way you do,
Thank you.
and entertaining audiences all over the world,
I hope so. I hope you guys are
including
entertained.
us. Support us on
Click,
YouTube.
like, subscribe.
Including you.
What is that?